What's up, YouTube? Alright, so figured I'd record while feeding these guys. It takes a little bit of time. What I'm going to use to feed and water, I fill up a container, a spray bottle with distilled water. I expect it to leach as substrates in the containers. A couple strawberries from mine outside, and old banana. It's probably still edible, but maybe not in there. And protein-based fish food. In this case, these are brine shrimp logs and black worms. But these are pellets. Oh, vice versa anyway. So that's what we're gonna feed all the Isopod. So I went ahead, pulled everything down. I also went ahead and cut up the banana. The strawberries I'll probably just put in whole. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's not really a big deal who gets them. So, I already pulled the front row. So I feed back row first, and the back row here is my front row. This is easier to manage. Put them back in. Numbers wise, this was a mix. I believe this is my gym mix container. Oh wow, there's a zebra in here. Don't know how that happened. That's interesting. All right, so since we're going that direction, my zebra container's up there, and that one, I think that container. So we're going to do that. Give me 1 second. We're going to try this again. Anyway, so I have other containers. So my yellows kind of evolved down the line. And as they evolved, I made new containers. You can see right here, this is my Cubaris, my rubber duckies. And they were not doing successful in here. In fact, I started losing. I lost one. I believe I actually lost two. And that's when I decided to go this direction. And this direction for me did a lot better. I've already sprayed these. I haven't fed them yet, but I've already sprayed them. And I went from 6 or 4 in here. No, I went from 6 because we originally bought 6 and got 7. Lost 2. So I started with 5 in here. 5 are in here, yeah. And now they've been reproducing extremely well. Where I can feed them to animals without issue. And then you can start to see where they start grouping up in different places to have more babies. So my population's about to go off even more. But it's dependent on food. And I haven't been providing food, but I have and I haven't. They've had leaves. And these guys had, here you see leftover grass. Seems to last for a while. Leaves in these guys last extremely long time. You can see here, there's some white ones, stuff like this, I take out, because these were part of the yellow group. You can see where an adult died here. And that's just nutrients. As long as you don't have any foreign pathogens, you shouldn't worry about the carcasses, or I don't. You can do what you want. So you can see here, this one has a fair amount of yellow in it. Moving over, you can see that one climbing. You need to clean the sides, because these guys don't climb without dirt. And that one has yellow, but he's got more of a outline to every segment. I don't have a problem with that, but that was not what I was working towards in my yellows. You can see like this, one of the white, a couple white, quite a few white. All these can come out, and that strengthens the group, but that genetic's still in here. Look how much yellow is on that though. I was working on that with my original magic potion. He just has an extreme amount of yellow on it. And the red spots, I'm amazed that didn't go black spots, because that's what I've seen out of my groups. But those are definitely reddish. And that is a deep, deep yellow. And I'm not even talking through the camera. Like, I see what the camera's doing, but it is just as rich. Just as rich. And when we look at my magic potion, you'll see that they are not that rich. That's beautiful. But, goodbye. Actually, you know what? The richness in that. So in this case, I will keep a color. The richness in this is the gem mix. I want to make sure. Don't want to accidentally put the wrong thing somewhere. But you can see how much yellow's in that, because that's where all this has come from. Working towards that. This is where it all started. This was the first container. We got 2 yellows, or 2 white. These are not Japanese magic potion that I was just knocking off. Those are a mix with our wild here in Florida, where this one was one of my first that had a real good yellow. And I like how he stayed dark, has the deep body like a wild, but he didn't retain the yellow across the body like I wanted to see. And I'd rather see that dark outline on the like skirting rather than outlining the plates. And you see the muscles in there underneath or whatever that looks like. So that's where it started. I've held on to these, tried to let them do their thing, and not really backtracked. So like that one I'll take out. That's a lot of brown. This one, in my opinion, is more brown. And just take it out. Alright, I'm gonna feed them real quick. After watering a little bit, I realized maybe I should mention, I would use your tap water. I don't know the results of well water, probably pretty good. But I would use tap water if you have more of a cocoa fiber mix, as there's not much nutrients in cocoa fiber. And I use a soil, and I also have not changed any of these substrates in 3 years. This container got added to from other containers, but other than that, I have not literally changed anything. I've dumped a couple of these to start new cultures when my yellow group needed to backtrack a little. Like 3 of these went into this, if I remember correctly, and then these started fresh. So this line of my yellow has gone pretty far, where these should be my best in that container. And these 3 back here that we haven't addressed are my red with the yellow across their back. And you'll be able to see how that worked out too. And those also were showing in these groups. That's why you were still seeing some magic potion pop up, because those aren't really cleaned out yet. They're not breeding true to color, where that container is really getting close. And we have these three. So my red line started here, and then started seeing the nice deep color, but these all had yellow in them at one point. And you see these two down here. And then once I started to see patterns, I started moving here. There's quite a few here. Oh, Chicken Little just took one. Like that, right there, he'd come out, but the orange above it would stay. Just a deeper. I figured y'all did enjoy that, so I left it. Let him do it. Yeah, so those are the colors here. There's a lot of mixed red shades. And then we move over here, and this is where I started getting my deeper or more orange out of it. These are my Florida Sunrise Isopods. That's the name I'm giving them. But I'd like... Go away. Go away. Go away. I'd like them to come out more like that. I'm trying to get him on camera. Here, Chicken Little. Go to that hand. Nope, go to the other hand. He won't do it. Anyway, so there's still a lot of shades here too. You see him in the shadow. Chicken Little's on my other hand. I can't do nothing. And then moving along to these are where I've been working. Like that one will come out. This one right here will come out. Spider will die. Like this. Chicken Little wants one so bad. Come here, bud. Come here. That's what I'm working towards, really. Like, he has deep colors, but he's not got the pattern right. A few of these guys. So I have been washing hands just because I don't want dwarf white in any of these containers. So well, I know these are clean, but like after I handle other specific containers, like my rubber duckies, have dwarf white in them by accident. One of my other containers with zebra have dwarf white, but they came with zebra when I purchased my zebras. So, and I add in some brine shrimp, but I gotta go clean off the banana from my fingers. Alright, well, I've shown you my feeding on half of these. And like I said, each few I like to wash my hands, depending how I'm going inside. If I'm just feeding across, sprinkling stuff in, like you can see where it's all powderized, that's where I've dropped food in there. Then I'm not necessarily going to wash my hands, but if I'm in there pulling isopods out, I don't want little babies to be like stuck underneath my fingernail. Like, that's where they transfer very easily. Moving cork from one enclosure to the next, making decisions like that will also very easily transfer isopods that you don't want into another container. So I'm gonna finish this, not on camera. I might show you these 3 containers, just because that's other Cubaris. And then my back ones are my original magic potion, Japanese magic potion. And I guess we can glance at those as well. But I'm gonna keep this short. Then we get into my magic potion. Alright, so this is the original group. This is where my first purchase of Isopod, like 5 years ago. I don't know, maybe almost 6 now. This is where they were. These are untouched. Like, I haven't added to, I do take from. And then I decided, I need a second group. So I started this group. And then I started seeing a lot of this red come out. There's red splash in them. And that's where I started making what I call a brown spot group. Oh wow, that one looks clean. Not many brown spots on that. Anyway, I started making a brown spot group, but I wanted to make a higher yellow group as well. You can see how deep those brown spots are on these. I'm trying to keep the bird from eating these because he is right here trying. Anyway. So I was trying to pull out that yellow. And really, it was working. I mean, there were just certain features to the yellow that I was noticing that I started to really focus on. So that was that. Dwarf white, I've been trying to see how long they survive. So these things, I mean, this container was covered with dwarf white. And then there were almost none. But I just sprayed water in here. And there's still one. There's one, I'm pretty sure, right there. There was another one right over here somewhere. There it is. Moving around. So they're dang near invincible from the looks of it. So I am going to feed them and then move forward. Show you the last 3 containers. Oh, and the zebra, where they started. Alright, so these are the last 4 of the actual groups that I worry about the purity. I do have another purple ghost, but they're probably low. I fed them the other day. So, zebra-wise, these are the Armadillidium maculatum. When I bought these, they were all like this. I don't know what the camera's doing. Had broken lines. And this is that first group. I think they have a lot of personality in these markings. So I've kind of let them stay doing their thing. but nothing's like real strong, and they compete with dwarf whites, so they don't really reproduce at a high rate. Where I used to work on these a lot more, now I don't so much, but they got a lot stronger. You can see like that, he can come out. They're actually all over, but so these I need to weed through, obviously, because like something like that, he's got broken lines. My bird, I'm not gonna let me do this without taking his cut. So like that is a nicer one. I like that, and that is really, I'd reduce all of these down to that, and over time those genetics get stronger. Some of them are yellow, but you can see most of these have broken lines still. And then we have a purple ghost. This is a Cubaris SP. Unless that's changed. And these for me, yeah, produce white ones. So like that. If I can get it. This one would come over here. I put that one in here with all of these. And that's how I get these. Oh, look at that. There's a centipede. So when you bring the wrong debris inside, you get stuff like that. After removing the unwanted pest, they're safe once again. So the reason that got in here is because of this bark right here. This bark had probably, that's the fourth one. Oh, there's a pure one. There's one without markings. Another one. So I need to get those their own enclosure, and I guess I'll do that now. Ended up finding another centipede who was on this thing. So I went through these babies and I tried to pick out the ones that were not showing the marks like an archangy. So that's what I end up finding. When they don't have markings, they have more of a yellow undertone. That's not my doing. But they're more of a cream, like a lemon Cubaris. Pretty crazy. So I'll put these in their own container and they can do whatever that is that they do. Alright, and I think that's really going to conclude this feeding of isopods. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope it helps you guys with your cultures as well. He's dark. That's dark. Those are short. Seem very short. Anyway. Alright, y'all. Have a wonderful afternoon. And good luck with y'all's cultures yourself. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.